Well, I feel like I owe you a walk me home after the other day. So, how did it go? Did they fire me? No, they did not. The boss didn't even acknowledge me for like an hour after I came in. And then she just basically said, "How are you?" I said, "I'm fine. Are you okay?" Which I think was, "Are you mad at me?" And I'm not really. I was disappointed. But like the driver pointed out just now about another matter, there are demons telling these people lies about you, and these demons do not like the light you bring. So I think that's part of the problem. So I just have to. I don't. I'm not liking how I'm going to say this, but I just have to be righteous, be honest, be hardworking, be upright. That's better. I need to be upright and just focus on pleasing God. The rest will either fall in place or it won't. Now, as you know, if you've watched these videos, about a month ago, a coworker came after me because I basically set a boundary with her and said, "No, I'm not doing your work tonight." She did not take that very well and came after me shouting, and I walked away, which I think is the smart thing to do. I would do that again. But she followed me and physically assaulted me. And what I have found upsetting about it is not that she assaulted me, but that she was punching me in my bad arm, where I just got over the injury. Look at these Jerusalem artichokes. Aren't they pretty? I love all those. And that's a weed. I just love that. You can dig up the roots and eat them too if things get really bad. Although I don't know if you'd want to, but anyways. So the and there were no repercussions for her except she started getting the kids off. And I'm not going to make a value judgment on her work, but they have had sessions with her about the quality of her work more than once over the years she's worked there in my presence. And I think that was a factor in my assault, is that the big boss had told her, you need to step it up or we're going to walk you out of here. So she was feeling threatened. Anyway, so she likes to complain a lot. I hope I don't do that. And I don't want to be that negative person that, oh God, here she comes. And I have been in the past. Ron used to talk to me and say, "Hey, you're being negative. Stop it." Not necessarily like that, but he would say, "No, don't do that. You're doing it again." Especially when I was depressed, I would have problems with that. So, anyways, and she was complaining and saying that her shoulder was bothering her, and you're gonna love this. So, hello. She said her shoulder was bothering her and she couldn't raise her arm very far, only about elbow length. And she couldn't reach up anymore. And it was her good arm. And it was very painful, and they were just gonna have to understand she wasn't hurting herself for the job. And I'm thinking, if you can't do the job that you're already not doing very well, that's not going to end well. And if nothing else, at least you're experiencing what you tried to put me through. So I feel like God did a pretty righteous thing there. And I feel like I got justice. Even if she only felt that way for a couple minutes, so. But she apparently said this has been the last little while. I don't know how long. I was off the last 2 days. But she is trying to provoke some kind of confrontation with me still, because she'll come up behind me and push boundaries physically with me, and she's like challenging me a lot, basically. And I like to think I'm a pretty laid back person, unless you're messing with my family, my cats, or my recipients. So, if you're not doing that, we'll get along just fine. And the sad thing is, this lady is a recipient, and I have reached out to her more than once. Not necessarily with the gospel, although I have. But when she was having hard times, I was there for her, shoulder to cry on, literally. And but again, the demon is telling her that I'm a terrible person, and she's believing it. And I think one thing I need to be praying is for God to silence these demons that are telling people lies about me, and for them to hear what God tells them about me instead. So that would be a good thing. But having said that, there is no way I can live a Christian life, especially as a evangelist, daily evangelist, for lack of a better word. I'm gonna have troubles. I'm gonna have pushback. I'm gonna have shrapnel. I'm gonna have problems. That is a given. Now that cold I have is almost over, which is really great. Those Chinese herbs really did the trick. I would really, really recommend getting instant honeysuckle beverage. It's a box of pouches of powder. You open one pouch, you put it in warm water, and you drink it 3 times a day. And that has helped me tremendously. So, tomorrow, something's in the tree. Tomorrow we're going to have severe weather. So I need to take all my laundry down. And I need to figure out, is the barbecue okay where it is? I think the fig tree will be all right. It's in the catio. But, and Cleo. Years ago, I read a book. It was a series of books, actually. And, it was about this little cat that ran away from home and he couldn't find his way back. And at the end of the series, he was just basically living as a feral cat in the woods, and people were feeding him, and he had a wife, and she was expecting. And anyways, but in the series, they said, we need you to go on this mission. And there were these wormholes. And they sent him through this wormhole. So he was gone from this world for a period of time. And then he came back. And I kind of wonder about that. Now this guy, I will tell you about this guy in a minute. So the wormhole, he would, I wonder about Cleo sometimes, because she kind of disappears and then she comes back and then she disappears again. Always in April. And it's very weird because, she did this after Biscuit died last year. And it broke my heart because I thought she was dead. I really thought she was dead. And then one day he's coming back. He was there at the, she was there at the trash can. So, I am going to turn around. I don't see him. He must have gone back. But I'm going to walk over here and keep an eye on him. Anyways, this guy, he just paces the neighborhood 16 hours a day. He's just pacing around the neighborhood. He always seems very angry. He's always very sloppily dressed. But he's living in a very nice two-story brick house. I don't get it. I find it disturbing. I mean, is he mentally ill? He seems of normal intelligence. He's coming out again. He's smoking now. I do not like this. So yeah, it's uncomfortable. Why, hello. Hello, puppy time. Hello, puppy time. Hello. Hi there, baby girl. Interesting. He's not coming near the dog. That's good to know. Yes, you're my little guardian, aren't you? Yes, you are. What a good girl you are. What a good girl. One day I saw her dad, and I said, I wanted to get your approval before I gave you're the parent here, but take a look at these, and I got these for her if you want. And I gave him a bag of dog treats, and he'll look at them. He said, yeah, we'll give him this one. So, I don't know. She didn't know they came from me, but she's a nice little dog, so, those little dogs just bark a lot, in my very limited experience. So, yeah, that guy, he just roams the neighborhood. It's just creepy. So, I think I gave him a Bible around Christmas, and he took it. So, he's a recipient. And he is probably one of the kids. I've got like 5 different teenage kids that get in my snack box. They don't take much, though. On the porch, I need to put out some more like actual gospel stuff in bags, I think, Ziplocs, like scripture booklets and Ziplocs. But I was doing that for a while, and because I think it's a good opportunity. It's a very, very low-key way to do this. And, teenagers and snacks. And here is an observation I have made. Now, this month, the state of Texas said we're not buying you junk food with food stamps. You can only buy actual food with the food stamps, like bread, rice, cornflakes, milk, cheese, hot dogs, things like that. Ground beef, things like that. And I think it's a good policy. I think it should have been in place already. But one thing I've noticed is a lot of families are going and buying like the $25 box of individual chips. It's got like 50 bags of chips in there. And name brand chips. The variety assortment, the kind of thing Ron and I used to use to fill the vending machine on occasion. And they're putting it on the top of the cart, and they're like strutting around the store with it. We can afford to buy this with our own money. It's become a status symbol. It's fascinating to me. And if you can afford it, good for you. I wouldn't want my tax dollars to make someone sick. That's not how I want to do that, but I'm just being careful because he seemed to be in a weird mood tonight, and can't be too careful. And who knows what the demons are telling him about me. So, anyways, and Monday, they're cutting the water off to do repairs, probably for a couple days. Off during the day, on at night. So. If I'm going to do more meal prep, I probably need to do it Sunday. I'm going to check the mail. I'm being vigilant here. So far, so good. It would be interesting to have like a camera that I could wear. But when I was looking, they were all obscenely expensive. And I also worry about like recipient privacy. To me, and my relationship with a recipient is sacred. And like, you thought the priest thing was bad? I mean, in my head, in my heart, it is way beyond that I have tremendous responsibility to my recipient, to protect them, to protect their privacy, unless they're following me. Ooh, lightning, I better get those clothes in. Okay, so, yeah, I might see Cleo, I might not. I haven't seen her in like over a week, but this morning she was on the dresser with Spotty. I woke up at 3. I could not go back to sleep, so I got up and I took my shower and I got tired. And I need to get this clothes in. And I thought, you know what? I'm gonna go back to bed. And I did, and the alarm was set for 7. So when it went off, at one point I woke up between 4 and 7, and I was so out, I was literally like drooling on the pillow. It was great. I was out. And I wish I could sleep like that every night. And hello. And he so I don't know when she came in, but she came in and they were like snuggled up. It was adorable. Because Spotty has been a little needy lately. I guess because Cleo's on a mission, so yeah. I don't know how else to describe it, but when she comes back, she's always her sweet little self. And, you know, I'm gonna get in the house and, ooh, yeah, I need to get this clothes in. Okay. I forgot to turn on my pulse light. Okay, that's it. Okay.